Hello everyone, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, dear community, a warm welcome to this new tool test. It's great to have you with us again. Before us on the table is the well-known and powerful DeWalt cordless chainsaw, which I've already introduced to you, the DCM575. An extremely powerful, if not the most powerful device from DeWalt in the 54-volt, 60-volt segment to date. However, this chainsaw must now make way because in today's video, I have the new ultimate DeWalt chainsaw for you, also in the 54-volt, 60-volt format, and it's the new DeWalt DCMCS575. What this new and extremely powerful DeWalt chainsaw really has to offer, how it performs in practice, and who would benefit from investing in it, I'd say let's find out together in today's video. So let's get started right away, but if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for free and activate the notification bell to never miss a video in the future. You can find the current prices of this saw in the video description below. Thank you for your support, and now let's get started after the intro. The well-known DeWalt chainsaw DCM575, a truly powerful 54-volt, 60-volt device with a lot of power, which I've already extensively introduced on this channel before. If you haven't seen the video about this chainsaw yet, definitely check it out. I'll link it in the upper right corner of the info card. It will definitely be worth it. But today's video is not about this powerful device, but about its performance successor, and that's this massive unit down here, the DeWalt DCMCS575. As you can see, an incredibly huge product box, undoubtedly containing a massive chainsaw. I'd say let me take it out and place it on the table so we can finally have some space here. And here it is, the new ultimate DeWalt chainsaw, the DCMCS575. As you can see, a real monster compared to the so-called small chainsaw behind it. The contents of the solo variant are definitely quite straightforward. From the product box, we only received the user manual for the two available variants, the DCM CS575, which is this one here, and the 574 with the 400mm sword, as well as the actual chainsaw, the bar with the chain, and the protective cap. On a positive note, it's worth mentioning that the chainsaw, as you could already see from the massive product box, comes pre-assembled in the package. That means the bar is attached, the chain is on, so all you need to do is fill in the oil, insert the battery, and you're good to go. For this reason, I'd say let's now take a detailed look at DeWalt's new high-end device. Let's start with the most striking feature of this saw, which is its size and weight. Of course, this is not a device for typical small gardens. This chainsaw is intended for use where real power is needed, and as a result, the device is quite large and rather heavy. Let's start with some quick measurements. Beginning with the overall length, as you can see, the 500mm bar is mounted at the front. This means we have a total length of the chainsaw of an incredible 100 centimeters, including the bar. Next up is the weight check. Starting with the solo variant without the battery, it already weighs a substantial 5.7 kilograms. Adding the large 54-volt, 60-volt, 6-ampere-hour battery brings the gross weight to an impressive 6,700 grams. Yes, I believe I didn't promise too much. A solid 6.7 kilograms for this chainsaw. However, it must be said that for a device with a 500mm bar, this is still relatively light. The chainsaw is primarily made of plastic and rubber, with only a small part made of die-cast aluminum on the other side. But that doesn't mean the chainsaw gives off a cheap impression. On the contrary, I have to say the device is typically DeWalt in terms of build quality, which means it's exceptionally well made. It has a very high quality construction. The device appears extremely robust, and when we examine the build quality closely, we see consistent seams. There are no sharp edges or plastic residues at any points. This impression is reinforced when you actually hold the chainsaw in your hand because the handles also feel very, very good and ergonomic in my opinion, as expected. The chainsaw typically has two handles, We have the main rear handle here for guiding and activating the machine, and up front the second large round handle, which is visibly oversized and also fully rubberized and black at these 2 points for better grip. As you can see, even the rear handle is completely covered with rubber for excellent grip and is gently rounded. I must say this handle also feels extremely ergonomic. In the context of these 2 handles, I must say that the new chainsaw offers exceptional handling and control. It can be gripped securely and comfortably, and as evident, its balance point is perfectly aligned. The only downside here, as I mentioned earlier, is the high weight, which is, of course, inevitable given its size. The choice of battery also has a significant impact on this. Since this is an extremely powerful and power-hungry chainsaw, it requires a correspondingly large battery. The device can only be operated with the FlexVolt 54-volt 60-volt batteries, currently using a 6 ampere-hour battery. The battery is inserted from the top into the battery compartment, and as you can see, this already quite large 6 ampere-hour 54-volt 60-volt battery seems almost lost in this chainsaw. This means if you want to maximize the runtime, you should consider using an even larger battery. I'll address the runtime itself in the test later. To activate the chainsaw, as you might have guessed, we find the 2 most important switches at the rear. This means the thumb operates the release, and just below it, there's a large switch for activating the chainsaw and adjusting the chain speed. Both work very well with no issues or snags. It's worth noting that the release is only on the left side, making it easy to operate for right-handers. Left-handers might find it a bit tricky. The next important control element, or rather safety feature, is the chainsaw's chain brake. As you can see, it's black and located at the front, easily accessible and generously sized. I must say the pressure point on this one, in my opinion, is not too heavy. What else can we see on the side? Of course, right at the front, the integrated chain oil tank. As you can see, there's a black cover with a cord to prevent it from getting lost. At the very front, of course, we have the viewing window made of frosted plastic, and we have a total tank capacity of 115 milliliters, which is quite substantial as well. Right next to it, practically jumps out at us, is the heart of this brute chainsaw, namely the extremely powerful 54-volt 60-volt brushless motor. As you can see, compared to the previously introduced DCM575, it has grown significantly, and with that, we naturally have significantly more power. As stated by DeWalt, the device has an astonishing output of 3,000 watts, or roughly equivalent to a 4-horsepower gasoline-powered chainsaw. Yes, you heard that right. This thing has some serious power, a proud 4 horsepower, which means you can have a lot of fun with it. But before we take a look at the test results, let's have another look at the other side. As you can see, the new DeWalt chainsaw obviously does not have a quick release mechanism or anything similar. Instead, we find 2 typical hex screws for securing the bar and chain, and below that, a small slotted screw for tensioning. As we've seen before, there's nothing else included in the package for this purpose. That means no wrench or anything to change the bar or chain. Why DeWalt didn't opt for a quick release mechanism with this new device is something I personally can't explain. I believe it's because we have a professional-grade tool here, intended exclusively for professionals who truly need this level of performance, and a quick-release mechanism may not be necessary for them. If you have more information, please feel free to share it in the comments below. Otherwise, here are a few more details about the chain. It comes included in the package and is from Oregon. We have a total of 68 chain links, a chain pitch of 3/8 inch, and a drive link thickness of 1.3 millimeters. Furthermore, the chainsaw has a solid chain speed of 13.5 meters per second. It may not be at the top among the chainsaws previously tested on this channel, but thanks to the powerful motor, it performs quite well in practice. In the practical tests, I evaluated this brute monster in conjunction with the large 6 ampere-hour battery, which I fully charged before the test, and with the brand new chain on various sized logs. I started with a relatively small diameter of 100 millimeters, which was obviously laughable for this chainsaw. That's why I moved on to 150 millimeters, still no problems. And the same for 200 and 250, very smooth cutting. Even these already extremely large logs were easily severed. Then I dared tackle the largest logs I had available, which were 290 and the last one measuring 330 millimeters. I couldn't offer this chainsaw anything larger, and behold, once again, no apparent issues. This means that even the massive 330mm log was quickly and effortlessly cut by the chainsaw. No overload protection or the like. It has an incredibly strong pull, even with very large logs. Of course, the device is designed for larger calibers due to its 500mm bar, which means up to 470mm are technically possible, and I'm confident it can handle it. Unfortunately, I couldn't test it in practice as I don't have such immense logs. The next thing that immediately caught my attention in the practical test is the very large metal bumper spikes that this chainsaw has. They're extremely practical and necessary for working with larger logs, making it much easier to handle anything over 300mm. The chainsaw gets a good grip on these logs, allowing for quick and secure cuts. The only drawback, if you can call it that, of this chainsaw is its extremely high battery consumption. Who would have thought? After the stress test I conducted with this chainsaw, which involved completely cutting a 50 by 80 by 1000 millimeter piece of timber, the temperature protection kicked in, but not for the chainsaw, for the battery. This means the battery became so hot after the test that the chainsaw shut off. I must also mention that it was relatively warm outside, so this is understandable. After the test, the battery still had 1 out of 3 bars remaining. By the way, for those interested, I'll link the detailed test video up here on the info card. In summary, I can say that this new DeWalt chainsaw, the DCMCS575, is an incredibly powerful beast. Not only is the device well made and gives a high quality impression, but it also packs a serious punch. With a total of 3,000 watts, equivalent to 4 horsepower, and a proud 500mm bar, there were practically no limits in practice, and as I mentioned earlier, I thoroughly tested it. This means that even with the largest logs, like 330mm, it's absolutely no problem. The chainsaw efficiently performed the cut without any complaints, no overload protection or the like. The only thing to keep in mind from the beginning is the battery consumption. This means that when you're out in the field, you should definitely have multiple batteries, preferably large ones, to ensure you can use the chainsaw for an extended period. So for those who really want to get the maximum performance out of a cordless chainsaw and need to make cuts up to 470mm, this new DeWalt device will definitely not disappoint. And that's about it for this new video. Now it's your turn. What do you think of this new, extremely powerful cordless chainsaw from DeWalt? Feel free to share your opinion and even your experiences in the comments below. I'm eager to hear your feedback. And if you enjoyed the video, please show your support with a thumbs up to support my work. You can find the current prices in the video description as well. Thank you so much for your support, and until next time, take care. Goodbye.